you guys get in the chat. So sorry that it's starting a little bit late. There's technical difficulties. It's 6:31 right now. Hold on. While no one is here, I'm gonna try to see if I can get in the editor here, because I'm not seeing my normal stuff that pops up. And I do see a watermark. Hold on. Uh-oh. Okay, let me see. Editor. I don't know. I'm not seeing my normal stuff. Let me switch things around. Let's see. No, so this, so sorry while I faff about. I'm just trying to get everything working correctly because everything changed. I didn't expect it to. But that's how it goes. Okay, I should be seeing you guys now. Hold on, there we go. If you're in the chat, let me know. I don't have any of my normal metrics here. Anyhow, I look crazy because I just took off my helmet because I just rode my bike down here. And yeah. I'll wait till the comments start popping in. I'm not seeing anybody right now inside the oh, I see one person watching. So anyhow, sorry for the appearance. I rode my bike downtown. I still got helmet hair. Plus I'm in need of good shearing. So I'm downtown. It's a pretty Norwich Pav, finally. That's right. Let me turn the volume up because it's a bit loud. Yeah, it's been pretty rainy. Leatherneck guy, what's going on? So, yeah, ooh, I guess I'll wait for a few more people to start coming in before I talk about all the bad stuff that's been going on. But, hold on, let me roll down my pant leg. I've been waiting, me too. Yesterday, I was getting ready to go out. Not getting ready. I was out, actually. I was at a police station all day yesterday. And I was ready to go stream after that. And I just got drenched by rain. So that's what's been happening. It's been raining every weekend. I mean, I don't like not being able to stream because I got people literally paying for me to stream. So, I mean, that's how I take it when you guys subscribe. So, anyhow, okay, hold on.
Are you live?
Yeah. Let me flip it around for you. Oh, hold on here. Let me just get you in there. What's going on?
Jesus Christ loves you.
All right.
There's hope in Jesus. And he died on the cross for our sins.
Okay. All right then.
God bless you.
All right.
Without Jesus Christ, man, there's no salvation.
All right then. All right. So, anyhow, now there's another issue. I don't know if I could flip the camera around. So, okay, there we go. So everything's been, okay. Everything's been completely changed in the app. So, it's noisy. I'm gonna walk a little bit quieter so I can talk. I'm not sure how you guys are hearing it, but I can barely hear myself. But yeah, it's crazy downtown for a Saturday or Sunday night. Let me show you guys. So there's somebody wailing over there, and
to expose the wickedness of the city of San Francisco. That San Francisco tonight would hear the name of Jesus with rejoicing and be glad and sing.
What's up? Life in the big city. Oh boy, I'm about to talk about life in the big city. So, oh boy, so there's a couple things. I can't do my old videos because YouTube basically was flagging my videos. Like 2 years after the fact, they gave me 2 strikes and deleted 4 of my videos, and I was banned from uploading for 3 months. 1 more strike, I would have been permanently banned for life. What else? That and my videos being used. So unfortunately, people steal my footage. I don't let anybody use my footage. You know, I've had network television reach out to me to try to license the footage. I say no. So the only people who I've allowed to use my footage were ABC7, who was doing an interview with me, and Telemundo, who was doing an interview with me. But so I know that there are people who just take my footage. Like there's the, like, I don't know, there was one, somebody took my footage, and you know, I did a copyright complaint against that person, and after a lot of fighting, we eventually settled on him licensing the footage. And another person just stole my footage, and again, without asking or any credit or anything like that. And I went and tried to give him a notice, like, hey, that's my footage, to contact me. He never contacted me. But you know, these people are much bigger than I am, and unfortunately YouTube favors them, and they could argue that it is fair use, you know, because they're talking about something else while they're just showing my footage. And you know, YouTube cares more about those people who have, you know, 1 million subscribers, or 5 million, or 500,000, than those that have 22,000. So, hi Lee, how are you? I've been better. I've been better. So they randomly gave you 2 strikes. Yeah, they gave me 2 strikes for videos that were years old. The newest one was 2 years old, and I had actually stopped uploading for 8 months because I was raising my daughter, my first daughter. So like I had videos of people just openly smoking crack out here in the streets, and videos of people stomping around and hallucinating, videos of people inhaling like aerosols, you know, like spray paint, and those were removed for like glorifying drug use, according to them, or promoting harmful behavior, or harassment, or / bullying, which is all ridiculous. That's why I switched to doing live streams, because it's like first of all, you can't argue that I'm harassing or bullying people. I'm just showing people what's out here in the streets. You know, and it's uncomfortable because everyone tries to avoid it. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's popular footage. I mean, some of those videos have millions of views. I mean, in fact, if you guys know that guy Chills, who does all those spooky videos, he's, you know, I guess he's known for a video called Salad Feet. He's got a very unique way of speaking because he's got like autism, I believe. But he reached out to me for one of his videos. Anyhow, That one bar trip video you did from Powell Street was crazy. I see crazy stuff on bar all the time. Direct uploads aren't fair use. So I'm not. They would steal my footage and they'd mute it and talk over it. So they would argue that it's they're illustrating what they're talking about. But really, what they're talking about is just like, you know, like that other person was saying, that the alt-right perspective stuff, you know, or just bashing the city in general. But, well, you know, what can I do? I love that building behind you, the white one. I've been walking for a while. So, you're talking about the triangular? I don't know, I must have passed it a while ago. With the black base. The new Canyon Bike XL, wasn't that $1,500? That was more than that, but that wasn't stolen. So anyhow, I might as well get into it. Yesterday, I noticed that the elf was gone. You know, you guys may remember me riding around in this crazy three-wheeled contraption, this electric bicycle. That thing is gone. It was stolen. So when the trash man comes around to collect the trash, since it's a multi-unit building, they come in and they open the gate themselves. But for some reason the gate is damaged and it just won't close, and so it's just been left open. And you know, we've had homeless people wander in and stuff, and actually managed to get into the building and just hang out. But finally, people got something stolen. That was me. I got my old red bicycle, which I kind of left out just to distract people. You know, because that thing is junk. It's broken. And you know, the parts are like from the 80s, so who cares? But they also stole my the elf, which is definitely not junk and very valuable. So yeah, that's gone. Fortunately, I have my bicycle, and you know, the natural reaction would be to just not use my bicycle, but then at that point it's kind of worthless anyhow. So yeah, I did ride my bike down here, and yeah, I'm not having the same issues I had before because somebody helped me out, and I'm wearing some cycling shorts that are really that have made it much better for me. But yeah, that sucks. I can't take my daughter out on any more little adventures. I went over to the police department, and due to the value of the elf, they're classifying it as a vehicle theft, so they're able to put some more resources behind it. And because our garage is integral part of the building, they're considering it like breaking an entry and like invading a home or something along those lines. They're slowly elevating the crime, and I think that way they're able to put more resources behind it. I sent them a picture of the elf, and it's probably the only one in San Francisco, and one of very few one of very few period. So that thing's gonna show up, but I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be stripped for parts. Good to see you, Lee. Thank you from SF to Texas. That one BART trip you did. Okay, the chat's jumping. Sorry about that. I remember you and Carlos going down the hill together in it. Yeah, that was the best. Scaring the crap out of them. Should be easy to spot. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it sucks. I wish I had like some kind of insurance or something on it. You know, but I don't know. Tony Shiana was saying that perhaps I could get homeowners insurance to cover it. Hopefully. but I'm kind of doubtful. But if ever in the future I get it, somehow I'm able to afford that sort of once in a lifetime purchase, I'll definitely make sure to get insurance to cover it in case anything happens. But yeah. Oh boy. You know, I kind of feel, I wonder if leaving the bike next to it was like a, you know, I thought leaving my bike next to it might be good, as in it would be a distraction, someone would come by, steal the bike. I wonder if leaving the bike next to it, if they came over with the bike and they're like, hey, what is this? Looked at the elf. The brakes were a bit loose too. It had the parking brake engaged, but it could still be moved while the parking brake was on. I was planning on tightening up the brakes, but never got around to it. So the good news, or I don't know if it's good news or not, but I have the battery for it. I figured it shouldn't be hard to find because that thing can't really go up hills too well. It's 160 pounds, and it doesn't have really good climbing gears, so it's not really going anywhere except downhill. The unfortunate part is that where I live is very much uphill. So I spent a lot of yesterday riding around in my bike looking to try to find some trying to find some evidence of where it may have gone, you know? I was going around looking at everybody. It was kind of like if you guys saw Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Everyone was suspicious. You know, and I was looking at cars that were not cars, I was looking at these big trucks that were you know, like spray painted all over, or had like windows that were covered all up. I was thinking, ooh, could have been inside one of these. But I don't know, I guess it's gone. I'm just gonna have to accept it. And I'm assuming that I'm not gonna get anything. I honestly feel like the HOA are responsible for leaving us, the tenants of this building, at risk by not fixing that gate that had been left open for so long, you know? I mean, I don't mind. I mean, every once in a while there'd be somebody who would come in a car and be sleeping inside his car and coming up to do laundry and stuff, and there'd be somebody just hanging out in the stairwell. But yeah, that's no problem. But the problem is when you get something really valuable stolen. Fortunately, no one got hurt. But doesn't look like his bike. Looks a little bit small. Anyhow, are you guys still there? I don't. Oh, there it is. There are more chats. Hi, Ted Vandal. How's it going? Judge Judy. So yeah, I don't have a lawyer, and I don't really have much time to be fighting stuff in court. But I don't know. I guess I could try to see what I could do. In the meantime, I have some thermal shirts to give out. It's a bit colder now. Somebody helped me get those thermal shirts to give out. I believe I'm all out of socks that viewer Brian helped me get. So I was looking around, but I couldn't find any, so I guess they're all given away. So I didn't bring all of the thermal shirts that I have on me. But you know, I'm only going to be giving these to the very special people that I find, because they're kind of expensive. Trade off for the BMR unit, I guess. Well, you know, it didn't necessarily need to be a BMR unit. There's other people in there who are not BMR. So I'll go around and look for people to try to give these shirts to. And if I don't see anybody, that I guess I won't be giving anything out because, yeah, I was told to make sure that I give it to somebody worthy of them. Hey Lee, this is Brian. How do we donate on Twitch to support? Well, so on Twitch specifically, you can subscribe at different membership tiers. If you wanted to help me directly, there's two ways. There's Patreon, which if you look in the info tab, I think it's underneath on the desktop and probably some other tab on mobile. I guess what's nice is there's Patreon, which is sort of a monthly subscription, and they don't take very much. If you were to subscribe on Twitch, they would take half of it. I think on Patreon they take like 10% or something like that, and then you lose like another bit to the processing. I have a PayPal if you want to just do a one-time direct. It would just be they would take like just like 3% basically. But yeah, that my PayPal is paypal.me/Lee's channel. You'll know when you get there because you'll see my logo there. And my Patreon is patreon.com/Lee's channel. Pretty simple. But yeah, I was thinking about putting a little banner raising funds to replace the elf, but I don't know if you guys would go for that kind of nonsense. But it sucks. My daughter was bummed out too. She was kind of depressed. Cool. Okay. At the same time, you know, as I'm walking around here, I don't know what you guys think. I mean, obviously, somebody like that was all about. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna look for Alex. Alex was this guy I've seen a few times. He's on the YouTube channel. You know, he's an addict. He lives out on the streets, former foster youth. Last time I saw him out on the streets, he was shivering. And all I could give him was a t-shirt. So I'll give him one of these thermal shirts. It's triple XL. So a lot of material there to kind of swim around in. So unfortunately, it's not raining. I was thinking about taking these over and donating them to the Larkin, the youth shelter that I used to stay at, but I figured if they're inside of a youth shelter, they wouldn't really need something to stay warm because they have some place warm to stay. Let me flip the camera around so you guys don't get tired of looking at me. I remember Alex. Yeah, he's been there a few times. So I'll go look and try to see if I can find him or anybody else who's just shivering. You know, I saw somebody didn't even have pants. He's just wearing shorts. I gave him a couple pairs of socks. So somebody like that would probably be able to use those as well. Dang, sorry to hear about your elf. I just logged on, so not sure if you spoke about it. Oh man. Yeah, so yeah, it sucks. Basically what happened is the building that I'm at, the garage door got stuck open. So it was free for the picking. But if you guys follow me on Twitter, I put a picture of an elf. Not my elf. Oh, I can't see it, but let me see if I can hear it. Oh, there's something really wrong with my with Streamlabs. They completely changed the layout. Dang it. Hold on, I'm trying to get into the editor to see what that bring was. If you guys can see, let me know. I'm gonna go in the editor. Alert box. Sorry for the technical issues. Twitch Prime. Oh, it was my subscription, Twitch Prime. I'm sorry. There's all kinds of problems. So I'm using Streamlabs, which used to be completely free, and you know, people would just get a subscription or donate to support. But they recently sold out. They sold to Logitech, so they changed everything, and they're putting a lot of stuff behind a paywall, and they're watermarking videos now. So I'm gonna have to find a new solution. Did you have any insurance on Elf? I feel like it'd be hard for someone to sell since it's so unique. I don't think anyone's gonna be selling that. I think they're gonna be stripping it for parts. It's got a lot of expensive parts in there. It's got an electric motor. It's got a new Vinci N380. Oh, hold on, somebody looks like they're stealing stuff right now. That guy back there looks super suspicious with that bike. But, so do I have any insurance on the Elf? No, I mean, technically it was in my home, so hopefully homeowners insurance will have it. But if I ever get anything like that again, I will definitely have that thing insured. Lee, do you have your Christmas tree up? Well, we have a really small place. So we don't really have a Christmas tree. We have a rosemary bush set up. And we have some lights on there. We got some presents underneath there. So, yes and no. So there may not be as much talking to people in this stream. Simply because there are two reasons, right? I don't have very much to hand out because I just have a few more expensive items. And also because I'm having problems with this app right here. But did you? Okay. Cool rosemary bush. Yeah, I mean it looks like a mini Christmas tree. It doesn't make sense to be bringing a big old tree up all those stairs anyhow. And I heard actually that there's like a shortage of Christmas trees, you know? So I didn't really want to contribute to that. All right, should you guys let me know whenever you guys want me to flip the camera around, I'll flip that camera around. But for now, it's kind of a pain. I used to be able to double tap, but see, it's not working as I double tap. There's some people sleeping over there. Also, you know what? I'm gonna take another look at my bike, make sure nobody's messing with it. I opted to put it in a highly visible spot with good lighting instead of next to other bikes. But anyhow, opinions on the recent Embarcadero Navigation Center debacle. So the last I heard was that there was a lot of people who were upset about people building a navigation center over there. You know, they had a GoFundMe to pay for the legal expenses to try to sue the city to prevent it from being built there. That's the last I heard. So you fill me in on the details, and I'll tell you my opinion based on what you tell me. Wait, hold on. Going by the big Christmas tree? Alright, I could go by the big Christmas tree if you want. It got approved. Okay, so are they raising a fuss about that? I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't think those navigation centers, I don't think it's a major pro or a major con. I don't think it's really, it's not hurting the homeless problem, but I don't think it's really helping it. I think it's all kind of a distraction because nobody's really taking care of the root causes of the homeless problem here in San Francisco or in California or in the United States. So, you know, I think they'd be better off, you know, using those resources to try to prevent homelessness rather than trying to house the homeless, which is an impossible task. Because I mean, you're not going to be able to build unless they're going to be like China, you know, who's like building giant, empty, vacant cities. But you're not going to. We're like in San Francisco. There's finite space, very finite. It's 7 by 7 miles. You're not going to be able to make these places. And any place that you have like super dense, with like the homeless, is going to be a ghetto. I mean, by definition, almost. You know, it's you're gathering a bunch of poor people and putting them in one spot, and history shows you that that's not a good idea. Especially not when 95% of those people who are homeless are addicts, according to the most recent survey. What do you think the root causes are? I think Reagan's deinstitutionalization definitely contributed. Well, yeah, I mean, it contributed, but you got to think that happened a while ago. But I think out of the homeless, I'm not sure what exactly the percentage is, but it may be like 25%, maybe even 50% are severely mentally ill, but 95% of them are addicts. That's a much higher percentage. If you could get back to me, tell me what the percentage of San Francisco's homeless are severely mentally ill. It's green, but it won't let us cross. Wait, hold on. I just saw a comment. The comments keep flipping up and down. I support navigation centers because those are what shelters should be. I kind of like the bus back program. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the navigation center is just a place, like they want to move the homeless. They don't want to help the homeless, they want to move them. So they'll put them in this place where they're out of sight somewhere, and then they'll try to get them a ticket and send them off somewhere. I think the focus, first of all, should be not letting people get homeless in the first place, and secondly, when they are homeless, help them right away before they sort of fall into, you know, the cracks, fall through the cracks, and get to a point where they're almost unsalvageable. but they don't allow intoxicated people in. But see, how are you gonna know whether or not somebody's intoxicated? Homeless guy on a scooter over there. It's like bent over. I mean, you know, like rehabs don't let people who are intoxicated in, right? But that happens, you know. Prisons. I know people who have been to jail, been to prison, and were able to get high regularly inside there. Well, the point is to get them housed. I don't think that's the point. I think the point is to get them self-sufficient, right? Or get them to a point where they can integrate with society. So I mean, let's say, okay, you get everybody who's homeless, right? Who 95% of them are addicts, a huge percentage of them are mentally ill, and you put them in a house. What are those houses going to be like? What are those neighborhoods going to be like? Are you really helping them? Are they no longer going to be mentally ill? Are they no longer going to be addicts? Are they no longer going to be dangerous? Are they no longer going to be criminals? No, it's going to be the same thing. And if you're in a house, you know, if it's a subsidized place and it's shared with other people, that's going to be dangerous for other people. The people who are complaining, I mean, I think it's ridiculous. Both sides have points, right? The people who want to build the navigation centers, they want to do something. The people who don't want the navigation center in their neighborhood have been largely, you know, they have an unpopular perspective because they feel like people feel like they're fighting against the solution. But you know, you have that a high concentration of people who are addicts and severely mentally ill in your neighborhood. It's going to be bad. It's not going to be good. And nobody really wants to talk about that. They try to say it hasn't been proven, or, you know, we need to do studies. It's obvious. Go to the Tenderloin. Tell me how that is. Oh, so wait, hold on. How many calories do you burn on your walks? I don't know. You know, being 6'8", I need about 3,000 calories a day. So I probably burn quite a lot. They almost immediately get a caseworker. But, you know, I mean, I've talked about this many times. Half of all half of all foster kids become homeless. I mean, that's a huge problem right there that they could take care of. And if they did that, I mean, look at my own experience. Everybody was homeless. If they did that, that'd be a huge. Hold on, it's hard for me to talk. It's just way too loud. I'm gonna go past so you guys can see what I'm going through. Let me try to flip the camera around. Oh no, shit. Hold on. There we are.
Give it up, y'all. How about that? Wait a minute.
When I work with different shelters and programs in the Bay Area, the guy's just riding the horn back there. Just cacophony.
All right, get up from this private lane, y'all. She come out here and let's bring your damn bed. Don't forget y'all, we accept generous donations like that. That always works. I don't know why they want to fly like eagles. Anybody out here want to fly? You want to fly? Most of y'all already flying.
All right. let me read your comment from SF to TX. Oh no, it won't let me. I've lost control of, okay, there we go. I'm sorry, there's all kinds of problems here. I apologize for the lousy screen. When I worked with different shelters and programs in the Bay Area, permanent housing was so limited that one would just bounce from one place to another, never truly moving forward. I mean, that's still an issue. Like I said, no matter how, I mean, I guess it is better in the sense that I talk to a lot of people out on the street and ask them how long they've been homeless, and they correct me and tell me that they're not homeless. You know, that's an improvement, but yeah, I just feel like that you're never going to be able to solve it. If there's 500,000 homeless, I mean, if there's 500,000 kids in the foster care system that are aging out, then that's 250,000 that are going to be homeless, and of that, a large portion come to San Francisco. I mean, me being one, I was placed here, and I was homeless. Unfortunately, I'm not homeless. But you know, I easily could have. I easily could be homeless right now. I mean, statistically, it would make sense. I mean, if you were just to look at me, not as a person, but as a number, somebody who was beaten and abused or neglected, and who went through the stuff that I went through, you would expect me to be homeless, maybe be an addict. You know, my mom died due to essentially an overdose on opiates. You know, and you know, some of my best friends from the children's shelters, I've lost contact with, because last time I talked to them, they were high on meth over in the Golden Gate Park. So, anyhow, like I said, I think you'd be better off trying to ensure that those kids who are in the system, who are dependent on you, who are wards of the state or wards of the court, or however you want to say it, I think it would be better to ensure that they don't become homeless in the first place. Give them something instead of just dumping them outside of a homeless shelter when they hit 18. Give them some kind of resources, considering how they have nothing. I mean, obviously help the veterans. I've seen so many veterans here in San Francisco, and I've seen them progress. I've seen them from when they first came out and they're walking around in their military fatigues, to then just sort of blending in with the homeless. They sort of just decay out here in the streets. We could definitely deal with mental health better. You know, I mean, obviously, shutting down the mental institutions doesn't help. I mean, and they seem to be shutting down lots of institutions of that nature. You know, they're shutting down children's shelters, which is ridiculous. And they're doing it in the name of progress, when in actuality it appears more like it's in the name of reducing cost. Hope Carlos is okay. Well, you know, I mean, it's hard to stay in contact with Carlos. He's going through a rough time right now, having roommate troubles, and right now he doesn't have internet either. Let's see, totally agree with you. Yeah, like I say this all the time, the homelessness in San Francisco is not in itself the problem. It is the symptom of a variety of problems. But honestly, I think the number one problem, or let's say number 1 and 2, interchangeable. I don't know which is worse. Probably, actually, you know what, I say the number 1 problem would be the rampant drug use and the lax enforcement of drug laws, and the laxing of the laws in general. You know, somebody who is an addict won't come to terms with their addiction unless they're faced with evidence that it's not evidence, but unless they're faced with just overwhelming consequence. You know, there needs to be something. There needs to be a rock bottom to hit. And I know a lot of people don't like when people getting put in jail for doing drugs. You know, they think that's a waste of resources, and they think that's a victimless crime, but it's not. And the person who is doing the drugs is the victim. You know. And whoever, you know, they jack to get the money to do those drugs, obviously. But, you know, what's going on? Bart! What? Okay, let me go with you. What's going on?
The best of ideas, my friend, skateboarder.
Okay. So, everybody, this is Bart.
What's up?
He lived with me over in Guerrero House.
That's right.
Yes.
Like what?
So-
Like 2000, what's the year?
2004? Was it 2005?
2005, 2007, right? Like that?
Okay, yeah.
That sounds about right. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so, yeah, we're just talking about the homeless problem here in San Francisco.
Well, I mean, it's all over the city, yeah?
Yeah.
Hey, well, you know why? My job, right? Homebridge?
Homebridge?
Yeah, take care. I'm a home care provider. Take care of people
Oh,
that, yeah. Trying to help them not be homeless, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that's pretty cool. It's really well.
Oh, I thought you were a caregiver.
That's what it is. I'm
Well, you
caregiver.
said you're going to help people not be homeless.
Yes, but they give them the care they need, man.
Oh, okay.
And what do you think with the case manager and all that, you know?
So you're helping, you're doing caregiving for people who would normally be homeless.
Yep.
Yeah, so I did caregiving, but I was, you know, helping the elderly.
Yeah, well, it's also elderly people, but also, you know, ex-addicts and people that used to on the street who don't know how to take care of themselves, you know.
So let me, we're just talking about the homeless problem. Do you think it's gotten better or worse over the years?
Yeah, well, way worse, man. Way
Yeah.
worse than when we're in Grill House.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, I mean, like, the demand's been increasing for the past, like, non-stop for the past 2 decades, yeah.
Well, they did a survey recently and found that 95% of the homeless are addicts.
Well, yeah, well, that's what happens when you're too poor. You need something to, you know, help yourself, to boost yourself up.
How many drugs have you done?
None. You know, me, come on.
Okay. How many drugs have I done?
Oh, man. Oh, snap. I can't list them. How much list them?
2.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, now that you're here, maybe we could talk about a crazy. Oh, let's just talk about one story.
Yeah.
When Jack, who was the drug dealer who lived in Guerrero House,
Yeah, I can't
when he
remember,
went when he went crazy with the knife,
I remember that
the
guy.
scariest thing that he did.
Yeah,
you
he
were
pointed-
sitting on the couch.
Yeah. He pointed the knife at me like that.
It was like right at your eyelashes,
Yeah,
and he was
and I was
twisting
like,
it.
I wasn't doing anything because I figured if I moved something, he was gonna stab me from that side. Just stood still like this, you know. I didn't say one word, and he just walked away afterwards.
So he was chasing me with that knife.
He was
And
chasing everyone. That's what the
No,
cops
he was
did.
chasing me. I had them call the cops.
Oh snap!
There was a brief interlude when he was threatening your eyeball with it.
Yeah.
They were just asking about the navigation center controversy over in
Oh yeah,
Embarcadero.
the work that was these he was going to put a survey to stop the construction, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's
just
shitty,
got
man.
approved.
Yeah. Survey got approved. The construction got approved.
The construction got approved.
Yeah, that's good. So we need more of the stuff on here.
Sure,
People don't know
but
what to do, you know, when you're on the street like that.
do you think that's taking care of the homeless problem?
Oh man, we need way more than just that to take care of everything.
What do you think would take care of the homeless problem?
The homes. There's article point out there's 5 empty homes for every homeless people in the city. You know,
Empty homes?
5 empty homes.
Empty homes.
Yeah,
Okay.
for every homeless people in the city here, including kids and all that.
So, but you know, speaking of kids, half of all the foster care kids
snap.
become homeless.
Oh yeah.
So that's $250,000 a year.
Yep.
We can't house all that in San Francisco.
Oh no, but we can do the whole Bay Area shit coming together to help out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not one city's issue, it's the whole area issue. You know, like people gonna move out to another city stuff for that.
Well, they come here.
Yeah, they
You know.
come here, but then they realize like they can't do it, and then they move somewhere more closer, it's cheaper.
Well, that's the navigation center, right? Here's a ticket.
Yeah.
That's not solving the problem. Is my point.
Yeah,
The
it's not
shelters.
solving every problem, it's solving one of the thousands of problems in the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but considering how 95% of them have addiction problems, don't you think that should be the number one
Well, I mean, how do you stop an addiction? People have addiction because people need help. You know, because people like depressed, people need something to lift themselves up. Drugs are easy routes for them.
Well, what I'm saying is that there should be a more therapeutic. They should deal with the reason why they started using drugs in the first
Yeah,
place.
I'm saying use drugs because they're hopeless. They need a home.
Well, no, I think it's the other way around.
Nah, I'm telling you, man, that's one direction to look at. You can say you solve the drug problem, but guess what? They still want to have a job, someone at home. They're going to move on that way.
But at least they could work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not how it works. But I gotta go with my friend.
Okay, all right, I'll let you go. So it's good to see you.
Yes, say hi again. Come on, show you out like you're somewhere.
You want to tell people who you are or anything like that?
Yep, and my name's Bart and all that. I live in the city for like 15 years now, I think.
Yeah.
Been singing for a while. Fishing crap. Nah, it's just water, man. It's water.
Is it just a drip of water?
Yeah, acting on the screen like that. I'll do it on live here on your lead channel.
I got to see my cat-like reflexes.
Come on, man. Okay,
Yeah.
gotta go.
All right then. See you, Bart. Okay. All right, people. So, what's up, bro? Tonight, guys, NJ80 and Lee ran into a roommate of his. Oh, okay. Okay. Good night, Tony Schiano. That guy over there is Bart. If you guys can't tell, he's French. I'll watch the rest later. All right. He used to live with me over in Guerrero House. So after I turned 18, they dropped me outside of a homeless shelter. I worked while I was in that homeless shelter and saved up enough money. Hold on, let me show you what's going on behind me. Hold on, there's another guy over here. So I worked inside that homeless shelter, and was saving up money and was able to go into a place where they in a place called Guerrero House. And there they just took like a third of the money that I made. It was run by Catholic Charity CYO, and I was in there for quite a while before Bart came in there. Bart's circumstances were a little bit different. He's from France, and I guess he was having problems over in France. He didn't like it over there. And he came over here because he had family here, but they let him be homeless. So, he was in the shelter, and then he came over there. But death penalty for dealers, that would change things. It works good in some countries. I'm talking the big boys. Oh, I don't. You know what? I mean, I don't want to be like Singapore, where if they find anything on you, you're gonna die without any kind of trial or anything. But I still think, things were better off before they started making the laws so lax. Back when, because these people who are addicts, they have no clarity. They have no time that they're not either high or looking for their next fix. If you're hooked on alcohol, you know what? Instead of just giving, it works in the Netherlands. They even give them free drugs in order to squash the dealer ring. The Netherlands. A lot of people who are not familiar with the Netherlands like to point to the Netherlands as some sort of bastion of, they say, oh, look, over there, they're lax on prostitution. They don't enforce it. They're lax on the drug laws, blah, blah, blah. The Netherlands has a lot of problems. Rize1, hey Lee, guess who? This is my first time on your Twitch channel. When are you on? Well, I did have a schedule that was on Saturdays at 6, but it's been really rainy, and there's a lot of other situations that have been going on, like my elf getting stolen. So I want to stick to a schedule of being at 6 o'clock every Saturday. But yeah, so in the Netherlands, yeah, I mean, you could go into those coffee shops and go ahead and buy weed there. I mean, you know, it's very lax, but there's a couple things. One, it's another country with another culture, and two, because it's foreign, it's easy to point out certain things without having the experience of living there and knowing what it's really like. I've heard from people who are from the Netherlands, you know, who I think there was a woman who was a prostitute who like ran for mayor or something like that over in Amsterdam, and she was saying, you know, people look at, or she was saying, one, prostitution is not legal, it's just not enforced, and two, don't act like it's a great thing. And she was talking about how awful it was, at, you know, from her personal experience as a prostitute. So, like I said, it's hard to say as someone who's completely foreign. I could talk about here in San Francisco. I don't think giving out drugs is going to be helping anybody. I mean, you know, you're causing. Personally, I believe, and I believe in the future it'll be scientifically proven. When you do these mind-altering drugs, you are doing brain damage, and the more times you do it, the more amounts you do it, the sooner mental illness is going to start appearing. You're not. I don't think you're helping people. I think you're hurting them, and I think you're causing permanent problems. You know, like for example, I mean, an easy one is ecstasy. Everyone knows, not everyone, but it's commonly known. You do ecstasy, you burn your neuroreceptors, and instead of feeling this ecstatic feeling or feeling just calm and peaceful, you can't. You are no longer sensitive to those chemicals because your neuroreceptors have all been burnt out. You just have horrible, untreatable depression. You know, you're going to be on antidepressants the rest of your life, and you're never going to truly be happy. You know, psychedelics, they also have the same problem. They cause mood disturbances, but they also cause schizophrenia. They cause brain damage. I'm gonna catch up with the comments. Your elf got stolen? Oh my god. What? How? Yeah, it got stolen from my garage. Or from the multi-unit garage. Death penalty is ridiculous in general. Yeah, I'm not a fan of death penalty because there's too many people who have died unnecessarily, you know, who've been framed. And on top of that, even if someone is 100% guilty, I think it would be worthwhile to analyze them and hopefully prevent the crimes that they're in there from happening in the first place. San Francisco and the city sure looks pretty. Does the festive season make the homeless kind of invisible since the city is bright and busy? Just wondering. Not really. I've seen plenty of them. But generally, what makes them invisible is the police coming around and telling them to scram. Let's see. Yeah, I agree with you. When saying that I was not necessarily saying I agreed with it, just stating another system. I was aware of societal differences. You know, a lot of people don't think about this, but you know, obviously, every country has a different system, and the different system is sort of necessary because every different place has different cultures, and something that may work within one society, it may not work in another society. Hi Lee, hi Breezy. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your elf. Yeah, it's too bad. But you know, I mean, what can you do? Let me show you guys. I've been here for long enough. Ta-da! So this is the giant tree that they have. Let me switch to the wide angle. Okay, hold on. Here you can see some normal sized people in front for perspective. Yeah, I can't get it all in view. But yeah, here we are. Let me get right next to this thing. Alright, so there it is, right over there. And I'll just do. Ooh. But anyhow, oh, hopefully I don't ruin too many people's pictures. There's a little ice rink over here. I've been meaning to take my daughter over on here. You know, she's never ice skated, but the problem is it's been raining, so I haven't really been able to. It says that there's a poor connection here, so I'll try to. Maybe I'll get out of here. Go to the Macy's puppy window, please. All right. Well, there's Macy's right over there, as you can see. But I feel like the puppy window is actually over on that way. Let me see. Has the little one seen the tree? She hasn't seen it this year, I don't think. Yeah, I need to take her out. But you know, today she did go downtown, but you know, I haven't streamed in so long I had to stream. So it's a little bit hard because the teeniest one, you know, it's a bit cold, and so it's not really nice to take her out around this time. I forget where it's been a while, but the puppies and kittens are a big attraction every year. Yeah, you know, when my daughter was a little one, my eldest daughter, when she was a little one, I took her over to look at the puppies and the kittens, but it was so hard. There's so much competition trying to get to the windows. People didn't care that she was like 1.5 at the time. So I think, oh look, they got a tree inside Neiman Marcus. I think it's down this way. But you know, it's a little bit, it's 7:30. They might not have the puppies there now. Alright, there it says Macy's. But this doesn't see, well, we'll see. I'll know, even if they have an empty display, I'll know whether or not this is the right place. Wow, I just had a flashback. I think there used to be a Victoria's Secret over here. Okay, so this is the right spot. See, they took the puppies out of there. I'm all tucked in for the night. See you tomorrow.
Wait, it has to be a month. Because that's money. That's not going to be. And there's like money.
So this is where they're displayed at normally. They're gone. Anyhow. Okay. Just like Singapore's drug. Oh, you know, I don't like Singapore. I don't, you know, a lot of countries over in Asia have kangaroo courts. So basically, kangaroo court, you go in there and you just slammed with a penalty. There's not really a fair trial or due process or anything. There's no jury. I think there's like a panel of 3 judges, and you're basically screwed the moment you enter the moment you enter. Over in Singapore, you enter and you have something in your bag. You have like a little flake of marijuana. You're dead, and it doesn't matter where you're from. You're a goner. Somebody could kill you. They just put a little packet of something inside your bag, and that's it. So I refuse to go to any place like that, even though I have family I know who are from Singapore. Over in Singapore, you know, even bubblegum is illegal. Protesting is illegal. They don't have freedom of speech, you know. They want to pretend like they're westernized, but they're not really. Those are things that I can't live without, you know. Over in Singapore, you don't have the right to not vote. You don't have the right to abstain from voting, so you're forced to vote. And sometimes, oftentimes, the gerrymandering is so intense. You only have one candidate to vote for, and you're forced to vote. But anyhow, do you think Cheza Boudin will help or hurt SF? I don't know Cheza Boudin. You don't need to answer if you don't want or go on with the conversation. You need a thermal. No, I'm fine. I've been walking around, so I am good. It is a bit chilly out here, but I'm my own little heater. I actually prefer it to be a little bit cold. Plus, I got a little bit of a winter coat going on. I made a pumpkin pie from scratch recently. I got a little bit of extra blubber. Your new district attorney. You know, I honestly don't really. I don't follow the news. I don't watch the news because I realized when I was a caregiver, I would take care of the elderly. The elderly love to watch the news. And so he'd be spending, or one of the clients would be spending all day watching the news. I realized 2 things. One, that there's no objective news. You know, it's all super biased, all of it. And secondly, they're all telling the same stories. You could flip from channel to channel, hear the same story. Even you'll hear it verbatim from different people, different channels. You'll hear the same story. And you know, a lot of the stories that you hear, a lot of the interviews that you see are not actually real. What happens is that somebody goes ahead and films a little interview, and then they go ahead and send people what questions to ask because they answer it in their pre-recorded video. But that is one reason. Another reason I don't follow politics is because something that I've learned in politics is whoever has the most money will be elected, and it seems to be what is it? Not irrefutable, but it just seems like a law that is never broken. Whoever has the most money will be elected. They can pay for the most advertisements, and that's just simply how it goes. Hey, I didn't know you were on. Yeah, I started at 6:30. So I have no idea. I don't imagine things would change too much. So Norwich Pav, you told me last time that you were a middle schooler. I guess you guys talk a lot about political issues over in middle school, right? Current events. You want to?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. You want to be on selfie or you want to be featured?
I'll feature. I want to be.
Okay.
I want with you. I want to be with you.
Oh, you want to be with me? Hold
Yeah.
on. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, hold on. What's up?
Welcome to SF,
Boom.
Bay Area.
All right, there you go. What about the west side? You forgot that.
No, no West Side.
What? Oh, okay. All right. All right.
I love you. I love the camera. I love this guy holding the
Okay,
camera.
hold on.
What's your name?
Lee.
Lee.
There you go.
Pleasure to meet
hold
you.
on. All right.
Oh, wait,
I only
wait,
got-
wait, wait.
My hand is right here. I couldn't shake with that hand.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, Lee, get his camera.
What's-
Give me a side hook. Give me a side hook.
All right.
Yeah, get the camera. Yeah, this guy rocks. Merry Christmas, man.
Merry Christmas.
What are you doing?
We're just walking around. I noticed you got a glide shirt on.
Oh,
Glide
yeah,
jacket.
dude. It's
Yeah.
got needles on it, too.
Community outreach.
Yeah,
So
I
you-
know.
so you-
I'm so surprised I haven't poked myself wearing this yet.
You do the work over there, like picking up trash for the
No,
glide?
no. I've had
I
to
know that's
run from
Larkin
them.
that does that.
I have to keep an eye out though for them because they try to throw me in the back of the truck.
He's trying to get you back.
Just kidding.
I used to be homeless.
Yeah. I'm not homeless right now.
You're not. You're
No.
in an SRO.
I'm still needy. Still needy, but I'm not homeless. I'm living in an SRO. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Are you
She
in the
lives in an
Tenderloin?
SRO too as well.
Okay, you guys in the Tenderloin?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I live up here 2 blocks. She lives up there 4 blocks, and we've been together for 11 years.
Wow.
11 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no, 10 years. I've had her for almost 11 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Close
yeah.
enough.
Yes.
There you go.
They're both my dogs, my girls,
Sure.
my dogs and my girls. I get them confused.
Yeah.
She's a girl dog,
Okay.
and she's my road dog.
There you go. Man's best friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, they both have me whipped.
So, what happened? Why you? Did something happen? Was it an injury that caused you to be in the?
I had an abscess on my spinal column.
Oh, okay.
That was a foot and a half long, and it was as big around as a football. The doctor described it as being as big around as a football, a foot and a half long, T6 through T12. No, T6 through T12, and it crushed my spinal cord.
Okay.
It engulfed my spinal column and seeped in through all the bone, the cracks between bones, and crushed my spinal cord in the
Oh
center.
no.
And I had 3 different doctors tell me I was never gonna walk again. And my toes started wiggling like a month after I came out of recovery. And about 6 months later, I started to be able to move my heel a little bit.
Yeah.
And then about a year, by a year's time after I woke up in recovery, I was walking down my friend's hallway using these railings that he had installed for me in his own apartment for me to use to try to walk.
Yeah.
Right? And that was the first time I walked without. Well, it was 1 year later, and then I ended up moving to Fresno where it's flatter because
Was it here in San Francisco that you
Yeah.
had the abscess?
yeah.
Were you homeless at the time?
I was staying with my best friend.
Okay.
I was a stripper.
Oh, okay.
And,
It wasn't an injection site or anything.
No, but I was injecting at the time.
Okay.
And what I did was I was a bit of a contortionist stripper and that sort. And I did a New Year's party for a hotel, for the management of a hotel. We had all their MVPs and all their most frequent tenants there as guests. And so I did a 15-minute show and I made like 200 bucks. And I got an 8-ball crystal meth.
Yeah.
Turned out to be dirty meth. And I ended up injuring myself in the show because I wanted to make as much money as I could. And so I just stayed in one position for too long, right? And I ended up getting a pinch in